Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Dear John Show, Sunday, the 6th of January 2019. And we have made it to a new year. What a night of poetry, fun stories. We've got a little bit of everything tonight. And first of all, I'd like to talk about I spent a lot of time on the phone with Nina Thilo, putting this show together. She's an absolute asset and a half. Wonderful, wonderful woman. Hello, Nina, and I see you've just come in. And Chris Edwards. Hello, Chris. And Christine Barker. Hello, Diane Burgess. How are you, darling? Well, we do an awful lot of background, behind the scenes work and put this all together. Last minute today, I've had two experiences with Nina on the phone. I think Nina has a poltergeist. Sorry, Nina, if you didn't want me to bring this up, but I have to. The second time you've had a very loud bang come through the phone, and yet nothing in the house is disturbed. But she hears it there, and I hear it on the phone. And the most amazing thing is, her dog does not bark. He just reacts, stands and watches and observes. Very, very strange goings on. Hello, Kang Kang. And Heidi McGurran. How are you, Heidi? Well, I just thought I'd bring that out, Nina, because that scared the living daylights out of me. And as the captain said, the front of his pants, the other guy said the back of his pants. It's all over my pants for one moment there. Really was. Scary minute. But I don't mind, I'll share your poltergeist with you anyway. Even if Andy won't share them with you, I'll share them with you, or she, or it, or whatever it is. Because we've got a lot of poetry here tonight. Lots and lots of poetry. And thank you to all the poets for sending the poetry in. And thank you to the audience. Hello, Chris Page. Anthrope, how are you, Anne? It's Safdar. Hello, Safdar. Welcome in. And Dale Warren. Hello, Dale. There has been a lot of weird things you can't explain, nor can I explain, but wow. It doesn't do any harm. No, it doesn't. It certainly doesn't do any harm. But it makes itself be known now and again. It lets itself be known, I'm here. Don't forget. Become part of our conversations, actually. I don't know what I'm laughing at. I'm glad I'm not at your house, Nina. Wow. But, as I said, we have lots to do. And thank you very much to the poets. And to all you, the audience that come here each week. It's a pleasure to be here with you. And I'm going to start off straight away. And see if I can bring anybody into the poetry whatsoever. Let's see, can I get Christine? Christine, come on in. Some poetry. Let's have a little chat. Yeah, it's usually when you're on the phone with me. Go on, blame me. I knew I'd get the blame one way or the other. Blame for everything else in the world. Oh, God.
Hello, my darling. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too, Christine. Welcome.
Or have we?
How was your week?
Have we already said that already? I don't know. Where are we now?
New Year. We're only 6 days in, aren't we? It's only the 6th day.
That's it. We are.
How's your week been? How did your celebrations go?
Been wonderful. Yeah, as always, parties. Lots of them. It was fun. Lot of fun, but too much overindulgence.
But that's what it's all about.
Much too much. Oh God, we need to get on a diet now and slim it all down again.
Why?
Thorough indulgence the whole time. But it was because things just don't look where they should.
Good God Almighty! Oh Lord.
You know our women's vanity. You know what we like.
It's not vanity, it's idiocy. Come on, woman. Good God, Sheila Webb, Josie Cook, hello. Jeffrey Sharry. They're all coming in now.
Oh, Jeffrey's in, right.
Yeah, Jeff's in, yeah.
Lovely. Great. Wonderful. How was your week then, love?
My week was quite good, quite interesting week I've had, especially with the poltergeist at, Nina's. It's absolutely
at
unreal,
Nina's place.
Yeah. And it happens.
Yeah, the dog didn't react.
No, it happens when I'm on the phone, where it's the second time that two loud bangs have happened in the room, and nothing is disturbed. Absolutely nothing.
Was it a firework outside or something going on?
This was directly in the room. You knew it was in the room itself. It was just when you're having a conversation with somebody and something disturbs. It's not an outside disturbance. Yeah. It wasn't at distance. It was there. And the dog did react.
Interesting.
The dog came straight up to look and see where it had come from. But in the area or anything else where he was looking, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
But he didn't look scared. He wasn't frightened or anything. He was just looking.
He doesn't until a couple of minutes later, and then he gets all shaky and quivery, yeah?
Yeah, oh, bless.
I know.
Yeah.
But
They
that's
don't like the bangs, do they?
no, no. I didn't like the bangs either,
No.
especially when it wasn't a firecracker.
Yeah, I thought you meant probably a firecracker when you were saying it, because
No.
they're still letting them off here a little bit even now,
Oh, they're still
but
giving them off, all right, but it wasn't that distant sound. It was in the room. It was
in the
in
room.
the room itself. Yeah,
Definitely poltergeists. Definitely.
yeah.
I think so.
We get
Yeah,
we get everything at this show.
we do. There may be some bangs going off here,
Yeah.
you never know.
Oh,
It can
oh, calm
happen.
down, lady. Calm down.
We will see. The ghosts are out there. The gremlins are with us, as
Oh,
usual.
yes. How many have you got for us?
Yeah. Well, I've actually got, I think 13. A lot, a lot. Yes, I've
You got
got
13,
13,
yeah.
but I wanted to actually read one of Nina's as well. I've been saving this for a couple of weeks because you've been giving me so many to read that I didn't want to dominate time and space, but I really do want to read one of Nina's as well. So I've actually got 14 if time permits.
Well, I did. Yes, of course. Plenty of them. Any poet we have, Christine, makes no difference how many we have. We're going to be here to be durate the whole lot. That's why we go to the
Brilliant.
poets. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
their
because
time. It's their night. They're coming in. They're coming to watch. Yeah.
it is. And there's a couple I found of Nina's that I really love. And I asked her if I could read them and, at some point, and she said yes. So I'm going to do one of them tonight, and I'll do another one maybe next week or the week after,
You can do
So,
them each week. It's up to
yeah.
yourself. Whatever you're comfortable with. Yeah.
Yeah, great. So I'm going to start with Nina Tilo's piece, which I love. It's called Obsession's Obsession by Nina Tilo. My interest piqued, attention caught. What is it that you seek? You've snared my mind, entranced my thoughts. I curse, I've been too weak. The upper hand at first was mine, a spider with a web. But somehow you have lowered my guard and crept inside my head. Addictions never haunted me, my character won't allow. So why then do I need your fix? You've hooked me in somehow. I crave your voice, can taste your lips, though ours have never touched. Exquisite fantasies torture with an intoxicating rush. Self-loathing festers in despair. I pity my obsession. Desire's heartbeat deafens me. I gasp at this confession. I've never borne dependence well, a heavy cloak to bear, yet somehow it envelops me, insists it's what I wear. Compulsion builds a growing storm and steers an unknown path. Attention-seeking ache displays infatuation's wrath. A mania fueled by silent days, this hunger needs a feed. Scratch just deep beneath the surface. Watch, it's you, my veins will bleed.
It was a real deep one for me, now, wasn't it?
Isn't that
Yeah, I love it.
fantastic?
I loved it when she
Yeah.
put it out first. Yeah, I still love it. It's a
Yeah,
lovely,
yeah.
lovely piece, though.
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, really love
And
it.
Jen,
I love a lot.
we spoke about imagery
Yeah.
and poetry of many poets. I mean, the amount of imagery that's in Nina's poetry is second to none. Absolutely
Yeah.
blasted with imagery. You can see the whole scene.
Yeah, and so many different stuff. I mean, her comic stuff is
Yeah,
lovely too, which I love when she reads, particularly when she reads it. It just suits her character so well. But things like this, just stunning, absolutely stunning. So beautiful, Nina. Love it.
absolutely lovely
Absolutely love
piece.
it, darling.
Beautiful read as well. Well done,
Yeah,
Christine.
thank you. Thanks for letting me read it, darling, because I loved it. Really beautiful. So now I'm going to move on to another lady that we've had on here before called Ebony Grace. And her piece is called This Sinner's Plea. In darkness I walk, but praying for peace, too frightened to talk when doubt has increased, in bearing much sadness, as cold as alabaster, and fighting pure madness, I call to my master. Where demons are roaming and all's but despair, my soul is yet groaning, still fighting for air. I cry to the stars, those burning so cold, make right all these scars, like past days of old. My blood flow again, my soul understood, Let pain be avenged when love never could. Stop me from dying and grant me my life. Where red eyes stop crying, I'm bought for a price.
Again, hard hitting in its description of the words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Very much so. Very nice. And again, short, but putting a lot into a very short poem. Again, as we've said many times on here before.
Yeah, it's so compact. I mean, you can't miss the actual punch, can you? It's straight in there. Hello, Maxwell.
It is. Maxwell, Dale's in there. I can see.
Dale's in there.
A couple of pieces.
Hope he breathes.
Why?
Take a breath now and again.
What have you done to him?
No,
poor old Dale. Do you guys know each other or just through the show?
Just through the show.
Only through the show. Yeah. Lovely. So now I've got another rhyming poem, and this one is from Richard Doiron, as I like to call him. It may be Richard Doiron, I've no idea, but I prefer the French, the Richard Doiron. I think it sounds very romantic.
It does, doesn't it?
And it does.
And you know what?
It does.
He's not my type. It's unfortunate.
Do you know him?
No.
Do you know him at all? No,
see his profile.
All right, okay. No, I haven't at the moment, but anyway. This one is called, very interesting title, The Day the Earth Penned the Poems. It was winter time, and it seemed that rhyme ought to make a statement fair. So his pen he took, as to write a book, every page in that a prayer. As he sat to think and to spill his ink, he appeared to face a block. Not a single line in that scene to shine, so he opted for a walk. He would bat the breeze as he talked to trees, and he heard the birds that sang. And he'd live his day in a wishful way, then it hit him like a bang. On that promenade was a statement made that eclipsed the best he'd heard. It was nothing odd that the voice of God was a tree, a breeze, a bird. Walked a world so wide, everything he eyed was alive and itched to scream. Every inch of earth like a newborn birth, he was there to live his dream. Now it's safe to say not an ode that day from a bard-known ballad bound, but those metric feet made his day complete that emerged from hallowed ground.
Wow.
Isn't that gorgeous? That's really clever, isn't it?
Construction of poetry. Wow.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. I thought that was really clever, really nice.
Clever that was. I got to say hello to David.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we have one of David's poems. I think Nina has one of David's tonight. Absolutely wonderful poetry writer. And Renette de Sousa has come in as well. Welcome both.
Yeah, lovely. So now I have one. I'm not quite sure of this title because it's kind of it looks a bit strange in the email. I think it's called Just Dreams of You, but there is in brackets come true ? As well. So it may be called Dreams of You Come True or Just Dreams of You by Cornelia Mattioli. And this is a different kind of rhyming scheme. It's not the metric that we've just had in the three previous poems. Different types of metric. This is much more abstract, but I've tried to pick out the rhymes, so I hope that you'll be able to hear them because it's somewhat of an unusual construction. I wished him good luck as he stood in the doorway, a stranger, yet not, his face and voice etched in my mind forever, like clouds of brightest blue forget-me-not. All abloom, will I see him again beyond this dream, at the end of the road, outside this room? Will his eyes remember mine as we stood by the table to go, and that I asked how old he was as we walked away? I'm not sure why I wanted to know, only that I didn't want to wake up or for him to go. Struggling through a throng to stay by his side, calling to him as if from an ancient distance against the tide. His smile, the answer. Are you leaving? Hung in the air. Strange, My heart wasn't pounding, nor heaving with any sadness. I just held out my arm when I reached him, and he wrote upon it with gladness. Stark black ink against my white skin, as if his presence was sinking in. To stay, I leaned against him, and the wool scarf thrown around his shoulders. Stay, a silent longing unexpressed, a hope being impressed, none the less realized when he said, I can't wait until I'm holding you. And I replied, you already do.
I love it. I read that one the other day in the groups. I went in and I thought, I've got to have this. Definitely got to have this
Yeah,
for the show, yeah. I love the way she's
in
put that together, yeah.
yeah, interesting rhyming scheme there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very sort of abstract. I like to play around with a bit of abstract and not so metric sometimes, as you know.
The story,
So yes, I thought
the
that was
story is a
lovely.
bit whimsical, isn't it? Like, and it's on the whimsical basis. It's portrayed beautifully. Is he there or is he not there? Has he been there? Has he not been there?
Yeah.
Is she seeing somebody that she would like to be with? I just love it's loads of questions. Yeah, it's loads and
Yes,
loads
it
of
is.
questions.
Yeah. Yeah. Very interesting one. Lovely. Yeah. So now I have a gorgeous love poem, very nice one by Lags Ray. This is untitled, but it's
Just
lovely.
to let you know, it's Lags Ray on the sheet. Her actual name is Lagna, Lagna.
All
Yeah, it
right.
won't ever be
It's
on.
a lady or a
It's
man?
a lady. It won't ever be on the sheet, but that's her real
Right.
name is Lagna. Yeah, but she
Okay. I thought it was a
no,
man.
she signs off Lags Ray. It's a lady.
Right. Okay, lovely. Well, that's very interesting because I thought it was a guy, but lovely. Well, anyway, Lags Ray, untitled, and it is a lovely, gorgeous love poem. A bit sad, but lovely. Don't come back. I have fallen in love with you, getting deeper as we endearingly bond together. I love you in my innocence, without knowing when or why. My heart stops when you weave words on my flesh, spiraling my sexuality, resurrecting me to life. I love you when you cushion me to your heart, sealing us together in an intense poetic discourse. Dazed in your lyrical touch, my heart silently murmurs, you are exactly what I want. I love you discreetly, for there's no other way. Both tied by societal fissures, I wish you were only mine. The thought of sharing you makes me dishearteningly envious. I close my eyes and speak to you in 1,000 ways, reminiscing memories of us wrapped in creative lucidity. I write because you exist in my beats. I live for you add the missing colours. I wish you really knew how much I love you, how eagerly I wait for your presence. For all the love, I sincerely wish you do not come back. For if you do, I will leave everything and hold on to you forever.
It's lovely, isn't it? Absolutely lovely.
It is, yeah. Kind of sad in a way, but
It
it is
is.
it's
It
a
is.
gorgeous
It's
love
it's
poem,
beautifully
yeah.
written. Even in its sadness, it's beautifully written.
Yeah,
And it's
it
it's
is,
actually created a
definitely.
question for the group, as Max will write about something. Now, can we distinguish? Where's it gone? Can we distinguish when a guy
Yeah,
is writing a poem versus a lady? If we don't have,
yeah.
if we don't put the title of it being a male or female, yeah.
I thought that was a guy. I really did think that was a guy
There's
reading that, but
when
yeah.
when when, a po- when
Yeah.
poetry is written, I mean, on the two sides of the male, the female, there are times you can actually tell the male or the female has actually written the poem by the
Yeah,
way they
yeah.
identify themselves. A male seems to use the word I, not just as me, but as I,
Okay.
as the person. And it can be,
That's interesting,
yeah,
yeah.
it can be an enforced I. You force them to read it to put themselves in the position of being the character in the poem or whatever, yeah? Ladies
Yeah.
don't tend to use I as much as the boys. It's just something I've
Okay.
noticed. I could be totally wrong, but it's something I've noticed over the years that
Interesting,
we
yeah.
are very
Yeah.
forceful as males in the I piece, yeah, rather than the ladies, where the
Uh-huh.
ladies can use the we or
Hmm.
neither. and still get the message across. It's strange, but yeah.
Yeah,
I
interesting.
think you
Yeah.
can identify. That's just my opinion.
Often, yes, I think you can. Just because the name was so abstract, Lagsray, that I did, in my head, that was a man writing that. So I found that very interesting to find out that's a lady. Lovely. Wonderful. Right, so now I have a poem by, I think, a Polish lady. So I'm going to pronounce her name as I think she might pronounce it. If I'm wrong on this, Margaret, I think it's Margaret Kowalewska.
I've
That
got
sounds to me
no idea.
Polish. It could be Margaret Kowalewska, or how we pronounce it in English, I don't know, but I think it would be Margaret Kowalewska. And it's called The Red Thorn of the Midnight Rose. On his pillow lingers of her scent, on untidy silk sheets of night, her dress still glistening with the melting snow. Out there among mystic stars, the blend of feelings glows, illuminating longing skies, blinding my eyes, superimposing emotions with a touch of scarlet lips, raining with swollen pearls of sorrowful gleam. Be still in a dream when the red thorn of midnight rose pierces translucent membrane of fleshy succulent fruit and bleeds with l'amour, unconsciously dissolving in the space in the arms of a star dying many times.
When I read this the other day, I could see the star imploding.
The star.
Yeah, imploding, dying in many ways, and the reformation of the star itself. And as Sheila's just said, Sheila Webb's just said, like, in many groups of poetry are dominated by the female. There's more females than males. That is very, very true. But yet,
yes, I think it probably is. Yeah.
As she says at the end, and yet the most famous poems have been written by men. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Can't correct you, Sheila, because that's actually true. There are more female writers than male
probably
writers.
Is.
Yeah. In all of the groups, no matter what group you go to, they're dominated by females.
Yeah.
But the ones that seem to get higher accolades for writing poetry are the male writers. I don't know why that is, in any way, shape or form.
No,
but I've been looking back over our shows. We have a bigger ratio of female poetry than we have male. It's not.
I'm sure we do.
It's not done on purpose, but maybe that's because the female ratio is 3 to 1 on the male. On what's published.
Yeah,
that's
could well
the way
play
we
a point,
get it.
Isn't it? Yeah.
That's the way we reach these.
Interesting.
It is crazy, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. It's an interesting
Shelley,
observation.
Sorry.
No.
Christine, just saying hello to Shelley.
No, go ahead. You go ahead. Greet and meet as you wish. No problem. Yeah.
And hello to Sheila Webb. I've not even said hello to Sheila, and she's sitting there not talking about her. Good God.
As I say, you see some people coming in that I don't.
Yeah.
So, I can probably see only those that I've at some point befriended or not. I don't even know how it all works. So anyway, you're seeing them. That's amazing.
It's so complicated, Christine. We're only beginning to see how complicated it is, myself and me, like I said, in the background of everything. We're coming up against problems that we don't see as problems, but Facebook is just. I thank them for the platform that we have, but I've got to criticise them for not staying on top of things. They fix things when they're not broken. They change things and don't tell you.
That's so annoying.
And you're chasing.
That's annoying, isn't it?
Well, I mean, we're 52 weeks a year. This show goes out live every Sunday, 52 weeks a year. Nothing changes for us. We read poetry, we have a bit of fun, we have a banter, some funny stories, some life stories, whatever. We have something going out.
Yeah.
What are you trying to fix us for?
We do.
We're not broken.
We're not. No, just leave us alone.
Yes.
Fix something else, but leave us alone. Yeah. Yeah, lovely. Okay, so now I've got one by Peter Forster, and this is called Daily Missive. It's also lovely, quite descriptive, lovely poem.
Peter does 365 of these per year.
Does he? So prolific.
Every day of the week, 52 weeks of the year, Peter puts out a daily missive. And this is just one of them. He's been doing it for years.
Good grief.
Yeah.
He's so prolific. Good heavens. Amazing. I don't know how you guys do it.
I'm
You're incredible.
telling you, honest to God. Wow.
Now, here we go. Here's one of his daily missives then. Peter Forster. Give me wings. Oh, how I would fly, dancing through the air, coordinated in movement, a mockery of synchronized divers, dipping as one, noses pinched closed, feigning a smile, starlings twist, murmuring in flight, defying gravity, locked together in front of a murderous row of black-capped Hitchcockian crows, dipping their heads, cawing in delight at the display, passing judgment with a ruffle of feathers, tipping the wink, giving an evil eye. It will happen one day, floating off this bed, the pain of past deeds, rancid in disease, stripped of context. Every breeze has the power to transport me into a paradise of my own making. Even for a moment, float me weightless, lift me up unto the sky, close my eyes, rest a penny heads up, and with a whisper, I will be gone.
You know, I love that line, lift me up onto the sky. Wow. I've only once been in an airplane. Once in my life. And
really? Only once?
Only
Good
once,
heavens.
Christine. Honest, I will never do it again. I swear to God, I will never do it again.
Were you terrified?
I had the whole plane terrified at one stage. But really and truly,
My brother's the same. My brother's terrified too. He hates it. Yeah.
I really and truly can't.
Oh,
And just
dear.
lifting me up onto the sky. I remember being up there, and Sandra, we were only just shortly into takeoff, and Sandra said, "You look out your window," and it was like the plane was upside down, and the clouds were on the ground, and the ground was in the sky, and I thought, "Oh God, what's happened?" I thought we were dead before we even got to take off. That's it. I'm finished. I left Sandra in Ireland. We were to come back on the flight together. We were only flying over to Ireland. And from Liverpool over to Ireland, or Manchester over to Ireland, whichever. And
it's only about half an hour.
It was 37 minutes to be exact. I got off that plane. I was like the Pope. I almost kissed the ground in Dublin. And when we got there, we were staying for 10 days. And on the 9th day, I said, well, I'm off to get the ferry now. And I got the ferry back, and I left off the plane going back to Manchester.
Yeah,
I didn't fly
dear.
back. I went on the ferry. I had enough.
You were terrified, were you? Yeah. Yeah, as I say, my brother is. When we went to Canada in May to see our father just before he died, just before he passed away, my brother was terrified. He coped with the outward flight. He did really well, but he was desperate by the coming back on the flight. It was just after the stress of seeing our father in, in a deteriorating state and everything. He was just so nervous. Oh, he was.
It took
awful.
2 days out of my holiday, Christine, to get settled back down.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
He's the same.
Mine was only a 37-minute trip. You know what I mean? It was only a hop over and jump, and that was it.
Well, ours was a 12-hour flight, so it was a long time. Or
no way.
11 hours from London.
No chance could I do it. I couldn't do an hour even on a plane. I can't even do it on a train, never mind anything else.
Yeah, you're not a happy traveller, are you?
I'm not. I'm so. Give me my bike, give me my legs. I'm fine to travel. I'll go from here to the end of the year if I have to. And Maxwell Writers just put up he's just put up a piece there, if I can find it, that is. Maxwell. That means we have to travel to you if you host a poetry conference, John. Now, there's an idea. I'm sorry, Maxwell. People would have to travel to me because I wouldn't be able to get anywhere, to be honest with you. But that gives me, so I might look into something on those levels for poetry in this country alone.
There you go. We'll all come to Warrington.
And I'm gonna have a write to the poetry societies and see what we can come up with for during the year between us, yeah? Because we have
we'll all come to Warrington.
Some of the most wonderful poets in the world.
We'll descend on your park. We'll descend on your park in Warrington and do one from there, a live one. You, me, Sheila, Milner.
I'll have to cancel all the car boot sales first. They haven't wrapped up the weekend this lot.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
It'd
be fun to meet up sometime.
Yes.
It would be. Yeah. Right, so now I'm going to do another one by Scott Buffington. And this is I found this quite difficult to read. It is another rhythmical poem, so I hope I can get the rhythm out of this, and I hope this is what Scott intended, because sometimes when the poems come through on the mail, they're not actually, you know, when you write a poem that's usually a metrically, rhythmically written poem, there's a rhyme at the end of each line, or roughly, you know. When it comes through on the mail, it comes through sometimes like prose.
Yes.
So I've readjusted it to what I think Scott meant. So I hope I'm doing this justice, Scott. I have actually put it back into metric rhyme. So I hope that's what he intended. It's called Alchemy by Scott Buffington. Romance in gold from sugared lead no alchemist has ever made, as only love may raise what's dead, new life that once ago decayed. Affection voids all science known, atomic weights can't measure souls, nor bonds covalent, stitched and sewn, may twine one heart disparate wholes. Not all life shoots straight from stars, ghosts compound their own design. Two spirits mate, their avatars exist as gifts from the divine. If carbon blacks the base of flesh, then light of white holds atoms fast. Love incarnates intermesh, long before the humans passed.
That, again, as we said in an earlier poem, is a very clever poem, Alchemy.
Yes, it is.
Very well put together.
Incredibly.
All of the elements, isn't it? I like that one.
It is,
I like
yeah.
that one, yes.
I found that quite difficult to understand at start, you know, but as I said, it was constructed differently in the mail, so I got a bit confused at the beginning, and then I, you know, wrote it out so that I could read it in the metric rhyme, and then it worked.
I was the same when I read it first, and then I thought to myself, look at this with the elements. The elements of life, the elements of love, and look at the two of them, and see the combination, and they fuse. They fuse beautifully.
Yeah.
Absolutely fabulous.
Yes. Yeah, great stuff. Very, very clever poet, I think, Scott. I've read a couple of his now, and very interesting. Right, so now I have, I don't know whether this is a new person, D.P. Groberg. Is it somebody new?
Oh, Doug Groberg. He's not, well, he may be new to the show, but he's not new as in poetry, yeah? Doug has been around a lot,
Right.
Yeah?
Okay, I've not come across his name on our show before, but anyway, this is by Doug, or D.P. Groberg, and it's called Take a Moment. Take a moment, this snowy morn, to care for those with spirits torn, without a home or friendly voice, hope for them whene'er you rejoice. Take a moment this sacred day to recall those who passed away, loved ones who are forever missed, their hearts too fondly reminisce. Take a moment this holy eve to comfort those who still may grieve, their lives pierced by atrocious spears, offer a shoulder for their tears. Take a moment this silent night to think of those who still must fight, souls on the line and in the field, plead for peace that conflict may yield. Take a moment this time of year to reflect all that you hold dear, and in that moment, as you share, the moment grows into a prayer. That's very sweet, isn't it?
It is a lovely piece. Doug has been around a long time, a long while.
Has he?
I've known him about 7 of the 9 years I've been on Facebook. Yeah, I've known of his poetry. I've read his poetry. Yeah, and I just this one the other day. A lot of your contacts on your friends list and acquaintances in poetry groups. Facebook only seem to give you so many. They only seem to give you so many, and they don't give you enough of those you want to follow. They seem to just take them away, Christine, and it's wrong.
Right, that's odd, isn't it?
They seem to hold them back, and it's no good to any of us whatsoever.
Why are they doing that? It's very strange. If someone has put it out there, then
I've no idea. You'd be in plenty of poetry groups, and then suddenly some of them don't come through. Although you got your notifications on, they don't come through. And then one day you go on TV and you see groups and you go into your poetry group, and they'll think we say Poetry Corner. I'll go in there and have a look now. And you'll go to the Poetry Corner, and they have been publishing their poems already, but the notifications haven't come through. Now, when you've done that and you've gone in and commented on 1 or 2 poems, you will notice Facebook will give you notifications to them then because you seem to show
Yeah,
an
yeah.
interest. So you can't leave anything lie idle or Facebook do it away with it. You just let it go.
Very
It's
strange, isn't it?
mad.
I mean, sometimes when I listen to the recording of the show, you've said somebody's passed a comment. We've talked about it on the show, and I go back and I read through the comments. There's nothing there. There's some of it's obviously missing on my feed anyway.
Yes.
I don't know why, but yeah, but very strange because you will say, oh, somebody's just made a comment about this or that or the other, and I go back to read it. Nothing there. So
No,
I don't know.
exactly. No, sorry.
I don't know what's going on.
Sorry. Yeah, I'd have done the same, Nina. I'd have absolutely done the same. Thank you, honey. Just saved me a job. I would have done that in the next round. Sorry,
What's that?
It was a message I was after getting in off Nina, Christine. Sorry, just letting her know I got the message from Messenger, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, right, okay.
But yeah, I love Doug's poetry. Doug writes some absolutely brilliant poetry. The same as David Lewis Padgett. And like I said before, all the poets we have here have gone through the motions of us reading the poetry prior to bringing it to the audience. And the comments from the audience say exactly what we say before we actually bring them to highlight them on the show. They're very well written, to the best of what we have read, that we would find the audience would enjoy to listen to. Yeah, and it seems to work both ways.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's lovely. It's great stuff. Great poets. So now I have one by Lena Power, called Be True. Words I dare not speak to you because of my own self-doubt leave me churning in limbo, a silenced voice, unheard shout. Torn in constant agony, my heart and soul bared, bereft, burnt to cinders in this hell for the light of your joy's theft. Longing to caress away the pain you bury inside and to tenderly erase the latent tears left uncried. My mind's lost in searing light, my cheeks sodden in sadness. There's no escaping this love, but I'm afraid to trespass. We're all sinners in life's game. None of us are innocent. I would never seek to judge or ask for your penitence. Bury ashes of your past. Let your core come shining through. All that I'll ever pray for is that to yourself you're true.
Yes. And again, Lena, a lady when she writes pieces like this is heart on sleeve. Absolutely. Wow. I like reading Lena's poetry. Yeah.
Yeah, very lovely. Yeah. Very, very nice stuff.
Safdar, if you leave the show and come back in again, you just leave and come back in, it'll all come back to normal. It does this, it's a big thing, and I mean, there's 46 countries being fed here at the moment, so it is a big feed for Facebook,
Yeah. Somebody got problems with connection?
Safdar, Safdar Bhatti, has problems. But again, we had problems at the start. People just went out again and come back in and reboot.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful piece. Yeah.
Yes, it was. It was lovely. Very nice, Lena. Lovely stuff. So now I have another one with a very interesting rhyme scheme again. And this one is from a lady called Arlene Corwin, and it's called Always Something to Meet Your Need. In the kernel of you, in the you that never utters words, are words of wealth and raw reserves. Enterprise and talents never known were there, faculties to solve the problems hanging in the air. Courses showing up because you need their help and you've become their valve. Always something there to meet the need, some neat support resort. Dare it, if you will. It takes the dare, and all you need is just to be there, heart and soul, the whole of you resolved.
Again, compact, straight in and all over, isn't it? Wow.
And interesting rhymes, no? Quite a little bit abstract there in the metric, but yeah, great stuff. Lovely. Yes. So now I have another one from a lady called, I think a lady, I hope it's a lady, called Nandini Mitra.
Yeah, Nandini
Is this a
Mitra,
lady? Yeah. And it's called When I Am With You. When I am with you, I can wade through the waves of time. I can fly across a valley on the wings of a butterfly. When I am with you, I forget all my worries. I dare to tread on a path full of thorns. When I am with you, I feel the real me. My heart yearns to break free. When I am with you, old looks as good as new. I overcome all my mistakes, more or few. When I am with you, I find the world in my hands. I lose myself in your eyes without any qualms. When I am with you, I feel safe within. My soul remains guarded from the world of guilt and sin. When I am with you, I create my paradise on earth. I could dance to your heartbeat all night. You and I together make a wonderful expression. When I am with you, we can make it to the horizon.
Again, another lovely piece of togetherness, isn't it? Absolutely
Lovely love poem,
beautiful,
isn't it?
yes.
Yeah,
And
it
I
is.
think
Very, very lovely.
it's a dream of every man and every woman for completion as such. I mean, even if you had that for one day, imagine what your life would be like thereafter, just for one day. That's a hell of a memory to hold, isn't
Absolutely.
it? Wow.
Absolutely.
Beautiful
Yeah,
piece.
yeah. Very special. Yes. So now we have one from the Poetry of a Dark Angel, who we've had on many times on here. And this one is called Frozen in Time. Deep within the shadows of my dreams is where you creep. Lingering with the crevices of my mind is where I find you haunting me. Every fibre of my being screams out your name. I hold on to the love we once shared, the love of many past lives. Deeper I fall into darkness. These chains now bind me to the time you once cared. Chilling calls of winter crows carried by winds speak the words that unlocks the doors which lets you in. I feel you deep within my bones. I fall deeper into the clutches of your grip. You tear through my soul with every word that drips from your sweet lips. My heart breaks with your slithering lies. Darkness is my only comfort, frozen in time as I slip into my shallow grave, bound to only a memory as I cry out in pain, please break these chains. Your every word etched in stone above my dying soul. Your memory colder than my grave. Release me from this cold embrace.
It's been a while since we've had a dark one, isn't it?
Nice though.
Yeah, it's great to have a dark one around. It really is.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely. Oh, Nina loves all the
she
dark ones.
does.
She's
Yes.
usually the one that does the
God,
darkies,
she can
isn't she?
hammer them.
Yeah,
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 absolutely.
yeah, yeah. She can. Bless her
It's a
heart.
great question, Maxwell. Lions are lies.
Yeah.
Do. Hello, Stephen
So
McGee. Nice to see you, Stephen. You're probably in there a
he's
while.
been in a while.
Yeah, I've only,
It has been in a
and I've
while.
only
I've seen
just
his
seen
name
him.
go through.
How crazy is
Never
that?
mind.
Wow.
It's because you're so fascinated with my reading. That's why.
And Richard Little is in as well. I'm missing loads of people here, Christine. But however,
No,
I'm
don't.
doing poetry.
You're
Exactly.
supposed to be watching that. You're supposed to be watching the feed, but you're so fascinated with this, with the
I
reading,
am,
aren't you? I know. So
absolutely.
there you go. Right now, my last one is by Geoffrey Shirey, and I know he's here. I saw his name going through. And again, it's another irregular rhyming scheme and a little bit dark as well. This one's called The Misery of It All, and it's my last one for tonight. The misery of it all. I'm bleeding again. It's too much caffeine, it's not, my friend. I'm older now, so you can see my stomach knots inside of me. Hello, 43. Pain and suffering from a tired heart. I want to be 17 again. That's when I started really falling apart. I tried to find a solution to my weakness, and looking in the dark, I found the light. A moon of beautiful passion shone down. Then I saw the gates of hell swing wide open, and in the gateway was the reflection of a clown. When I smiled, he smiled at the same time. His face was caked with white madness, and his upside-down frown showed in his sadness. He pointed down a set of stairs into a red light, laughing as I disappeared out of sight. Down a hallway of black stone I crept, holding onto my sanity as I quietly wept. Voices sang haunting tunes of sorrow, wishing they had another tomorrow. Inside me, a centipede crawled, making its way to my brain. I felt its legs attached to my cerebellum, and I no longer was in any pain. The fire circled the black slab I now laid upon, and I drifted off to dreams of my childhood. I saw my mother and 2 siblings, and the town I called home. That's when I felt the freedom in my soul. But as the dream faded, I felt like I was in the freezing cold. In a hospital bed, the doctors loomed over me, looking me up and down before they started cutting. I was assured I'd be just fine, and as I thought of the moon, I felt sublime. The madness was slowly fading away as they cut into my skull, performing their sick lobotomy. I knew right then and there that nothing would be left of my memory.
Wow.
It's quite strong stuff, isn't it?
Ooh, isn't it? Just now, doesn't that ask Beggar the question? Is it real or is it just fantasized?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was doubting Thomas last week that he was writing good stuff, so hey ho.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Do you remember?
I do indeed, yes. Fabulous.
Yeah.
Absolutely fabulous. Oh, let's
Yeah.
Livia.
There we
Livia's
go.
in 6:30 in the morning in Australia.
Is she, bless her heart,
she's
having a coffee? She's having a coffee. I'm having a glass of champagne. So
Oh my
hello, dears.
God.
Cheers.
I'm having a cold coffee as well.
It's the remains of my birthday champagne that was open. So I thought when I finished reading, I shall have a glass of champagne tonight.
Beautiful.
So there you go. I'm done and
And
finished.
next week we have Myrna back. We don't have Myrna this week because she's
Oh, is she not here today?
babysitting today. She's back. She's
Okay.
back for next Sunday. So we're back to the 4 of us next week. Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah. We haven't seen her for a while. She's been away for a
off
couple of
2
weeks,
weeks
hasn't
now.
she?
Yeah. She has the birthday. I think she's got a birthday party as well. Her grandson's birthday party.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
So instead of
Yeah.
having the birthday party on the show, Myrna decided that the kids. Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. Oh, somebody else is having a cigarette, they say. You're having coffee or you're having juice, someone's having a cigarette, and I'm on champagne.
God. I've got my one. I've got my one here, right here. It's there.
There you go.
It's there.
Yeah. Cheers.
Oh, Kristen, that was a beautiful reading evening. Thanks a million.
You're very welcome, my dears. My great pleasure, as
Look
always.
forward to seeing you on Sunday. Have a lovely week ahead. Take it
I
easy.
will do. Back at school now.
Yes.
Yeah, no taking it easy anymore.
No.
It's stress-free
That's
now.
all
So
stress.
back at work. Yeah, it's all stress,
Oh.
but part of life, you know, keeps you
It does. It
awake,
keeps
doesn't
you going.
it?
Exactly. Just keeps the grey matter not being grey, doesn't it?
Dale say maybe a rum and root beer later. Go for it, Dale.
Go all the way, lad. Hello, Andy.
Absolutely.
Here's Andy just come in
It's
as
Sunday
well.
evening. Great.
Have
Yeah.
a wonderful week ahead, Kristen, and thanks a million.
Will do, my
Send
love.
you over another,
You're very
send you
welcome.
over another batch now for next week, yeah?
Yeah, okie
Christine,
dokie.
love you to
No
bits.
problem.
Take it easy.
You too. Take
Have
care,
fun.
everyone. Have a lovely evening, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Will do. You
Bye,
too.
Christine.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Lots of
Lots
love.
of love. Bye-bye, Christine. Christine Barker. What can I say, guys? What a beautiful, beautiful reading night this is turning out to be. Wow. And welcome to everybody that's in the show. You've all been absolutely brilliant out there. Yes, Chris is doing a great job of meet and greeting. Always does. I told you that last week, Dale. It's nice to hear your name being mentioned when on camera. Lots of people have said that. They feel welcomed in and they feel like part of the show. And it's everybody's show that's out there. We can all say hello to everybody. I think I've got somebody else lined up to come in here. And I do indeed. Thank goodness. And some would say partner in crime. Some would just say criminal. Oh, sweetie, my God. I wasn't expecting you. Where's Nina?
Hello.
Oh dear, no.
Hello.
Oh, no.
What? What?
Is that you, Nina?
Yeah.
That's Nina, we're all right.
Yeah.
Just, whoa, dear, oh dear, oh dear. That's brilliant. Oh, wow. That is
Isn't it
brilliant.
cute?
Isn't it
Okay.
so cute?
I feel I need to explain myself now.
I will be back in the moment. I've got to go get changed.
So basically, I had the loveliest gift in the post this week. So bless their hearts, Jessie Batista and Sus Hamburg. They messaged me in the week, and first of all, there was just a picture of a unicorn. And then Jessie said to me, we saw it and we thought of you, and we'd like you to have it. So, I mean, you come across nice people in life, but this has just blown me away. It really has. So they bought it for me and they shipped it over from America, and I picked it up on Friday. And I am just overwhelmed at the thoughtfulness and the generosity of those two. I really am. It's made my day. It's made my week. It's made my year. So thank you to both of them for being so lovely, and I will treasure it. I will absolutely treasure it. So yeah, what a wonderful thing to do.
And unicorns are your thing, of course, Nina, aren't they?
Unicorns are me, as probably most people are aware of, if they have anything to do with me. So yeah, I have been told by several people that they can't see a unicorn without thinking of me, which isn't a bad thing, really. There's worse connections to be made, but just the fact that they sent me a little rhyme in with it as well, and they said they saw of it, they instantly thought of me, they thought it was so me, but the proviso was that I wore it on the show. I will wear it again towards the end, but I did explain to them that it's probably not appropriate to read people's poetry with a unicorn sat on my head. And they agreed. So if
I've just got to say hello to Skippy Girls. Jennifer Polonetsky's just come in. Hello,
so,
Jennifer.
Yes, so thank you again, guys. It's absolutely made my year. It really has. I love my unicorn. Thank you.
Isn't it so cute, though? Hello, Ken Burrows. Isn't it so cute? It really is. That's lovely.
It's adorable. The dog's had his eye on it. He thinks it's a cuddly toy for him. So I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to make sure that he doesn't sink his teeth into it. Andy's had it on. Andy tried it on. Doesn't suit him. Yeah. But no, I shall. If you permit, I shall read a funny at the end, and I'll put the unicorn back on.
What do you mean if I permit? If you gotta read a funny, read a funny. I'm not the boss. The Godfather.
The
God Almighty.
The Godfather. I don't know so much. Right, and once again, can we ask people if there's any overlap between us? Because it only ever seems to happen between John and I. But if there's any kind of...
Are you using different earphones tonight?
Yeah.
That's the difference, because the sounding I've had with Christine was very throughout my piece with Christine, yeah?
Yeah.
But with you, it is totally no interference whatsoever.
Okay. I just want to know if there's that overlap still, if you're coming in before I finish speaking. And if you are, I don't know what to do about it. We shall see.
There is no overlap because your lips are still moving at the same pace they should be moving. There's no... You're in sync with the camera.
So you mean I'm not doing a Jackie Chan?
No, not really. You know...
I'll have to practice.
But going back to earlier, that second incident we had on the phone today, that was something else.
Oh, don't. I know. I thought my poltergeist had moved on, but apparently not. So it's back. As long as it stays friendly, I don't
I
mind.
think I am very convinced now, just as the night's gone on. Yeah? I think your poltergeist is CIA based. I think we're being watched and listened to. New World Order.
It usually seems to happen when I'm on the phone with you. So maybe it's jealous or something. I don't know.
No, I don't know. I don't think it's that. I think it's they're out to get us.
Well, that's you. You're just a conspiracy theorist. So
No, it seems
I'll
to be
let
into
you.
me.
I'll let you have your idiot. You've got some reads, haven't you, Mr. Kavanagh?
No, you get me nothing.
Oh, you little liar.
Just can't get the staff. I have one from Marius Van Week.
You do.
Or Wyke. And the one thing still confusing me with Marius's poems is the name of the poem is at the end, not the start.
Yeah.
That is so unusual. So unusual. So guys, I'm going to love introducing the name of the poem when I finish reading this one then. Do you want to read this one first, Nina?
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah. And again, as I said, there is no name at the start, so I'm just going to read it as it goes. Marius Van Week. Sorrow. My visitor in the dead of night beseeched of me to speak my mind, to reveal my soul's innermost reflections. Looked I deeply into its tragedy, beauty's eyes, but alas, could not hold its gaze. Silent fell I, lacrimal, my only reply. Desire peopled my solitude on a cool autumn afternoon. Don't disappear on me. Sorry guys, I'm going to start again. My computer went blank. Here we go. Maestro, take it away. Sorrow, my visit in the dead of night, beseeched of me to speak my mind, to reveal my soul's innermost reflections. Looked I deeply into its tragically beauteous eyes, but alas, could not hold its gaze. Silent fell I, lacrimal, my only reply. Desire peopled my solitude on a cool autumn afternoon. Spake we on all manners of things. It looked upon my seasoned countenance, my scarred shaven head, my crooked weary frame, then turned its gaze to my awkward rough hands, took them in its own, and held them against its very face, closed its wonderful eyes. Look beheld me in a most startled fashion, closed, looked once more upon my wishful countenance, and spake my name, a letter to Anna.
Oh, we found that one yesterday, wasn't it? We found that.
Now, background noise drowning me out. Now there's no background noise because we're speaking. So that was from Maxwell, background noise drowning you out. But that was the background noise was because I turned this way, I turned on. I'm going to move the computer down to this side actually, the laptop. Down to this side so I can actually read it from where I sit, yeah? And hopefully it doesn't interfere this time. But it did say it was drowning me out, so I'll try and get myself that I can turn more towards the speaker, yeah?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right, so my first one, I have a lovely piece. It's a nice floaty upbeat piece by Andy Carpenter, and it's called The Colour of My Dreams. I want to live in a world full of the brightest colours, where pretty lights merge to decorate the sky. Music follows the steps of the carnival today. We all dance together. Adults find the time to play. A castle in the distance, the princess on a hill, magic all around us in what we see and feel. Recollect and smile, reflecting with an awe. It's made the greyness of my land sparkle that much more. So as the river bends, it comes to life with charm. Carry me through enchanted woods where fairies tell their tales. A place I won't forget that's invigorated me. and left me in a state of wonder, gazing in a dream.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Oh no, sweet, isn't it? And I just thought there's so much. I said to you earlier, didn't I? There's quite a lot of dark, heavy, serious stuff around at the moment, and to try to find a light-hearted piece, it's actually quite a task. So as soon as I found that, I thought, yeah, jumping on it. I've already worn it, Naomi. I'm wearing it again at the end. Look, it's here. It's here. She was there when I opened it.
Oh, do you know?
So
but as you said, Nina, what a beautiful gesture. That shows. And I say this, I'll be blue in the face and say, hey, Nina Thiel was watching.
is she?
Well, she is, yeah. It says there, Nina Thiel was watching in green.
I should kick her out if I was you.
That she's gone, but that just click up now on that one.
Delete.
But
Ban.
the connectivity, the interaction, and the friendships that are being made in the show itself. I mean, something is going right, and I think it's just beautiful that it has been for the length of time it is, and it continues to do so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Connections like that are just priceless across the world. I mean, USA to the UK. Wow.
I know. I mean, I saw how much the carriage cost to send this unicorn hat over without them buying it in the first place. Yeah. And to think that someone would do that out of the goodness of their heart, I will never forget it. I will never forget it. It will always make me smile.
It's proven to me that classic saying. It's not the cost, it's the thought.
Oh, totally. That counts. Totally.
Cost, and I said
I said to Jesse a couple of times, I said, are you sure? I said, that's a lot to do. And he went, we're totally sure. It's got your name written all over it. And I was just like, oh, yeah. It made me feel lovely. It really did. But Naomi was there when I opened it. I was at her house, and I'd been down the post office and picked up the package, and I came back and I didn't open it initially, and then I thought, oh, I've got that package, and I opened it up and I was like, and then I told her the story, and she was there, and we both read the little poem that was in with it as well. So excellent. Yeah, lovely. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely fabulous. But again, like I said, the closeness and everything else that is developed in the show is absolutely
it made me feel lovely. It really did. The fact that they were that they even gave me a second thought, to be honest, it was lovely. Yeah, really lovely. Okay, and then I've got a little introduction to this one, because the title of this one I didn't understand. So it's called A Big Sur Feeling, and it's SUR. And it's by Heidi McGurran. So I went to Heidi and I said, can you explain what that is? You know, because I wondered if it was a misspelling or something like that. And she came back with, Big Sur is a magical place that I ran away to many times when I was young, to be near my aunt who built Nepenthe. I built a house there years ago to raise my children in this magical life. So this is what this piece is all about. It isn't just laying silently behind the tip of your tongue, nor does it ever make itself visible. I wish I could quiet myself enough to slow my memories, like a wild running torrent over rapids through a narrow mountain pass, a gorge below calming your haste. Some stopped and drank from the green vibrant water, trickles that grew and gave pure water. Didn't you wander in the unknown by yourself? Living in my memory, rickety trains, landscapes wild and friendly, I imagined myself living in the spirit of these women in Inca land. They were familiar to me, like a family I was part of. The dust of the streets, the cobblestones. I loved colour so much. In love with colour so much that I became hypnotised by it. My cousin Kathy fractured lineal dangling figures, palest colour blues, watercolour, lines stretching in curves and starts and twisting towards who knows where, obviously on a mission. Stretching fingers with strings wound around our fingers. Rattlesnake grasses were curiosities, living on the land, wondering who came before me. Each breath of air gave fresh strength. As the waves crashed onto the beach and the cliffs above held secrets, the roads were pushed through rocks and sagebrush, lupins of golden and purple hues. Owls hooted from the riverbed below. Tiny quails scurried from the underbrush, chasing their mothers who rummaged around for food. The redwoods created a coolness beneath their tall, majestic presence, where robins fluttered and blue jays made friends in the luscious old growth of the near forest. The sun seemed to swim through the branches, and light flooded the darkened branches where squirrels leapt and scurried from branch to branch, flying from tree to tree. Raccoons and the bobcats, often opossum, deer, aware too that mountain lions roamed through these very mountains, where my house was growing in height and personality. I lived in a visqueen cabin with a 6-foot hotel tub, an outside porch, kitchen, a loft above, a bed for 3 children below, an Ashley stove, an electric piano, a tiny desk area, and a bed for my Vida, who had her puppies one night below. To wake with the light pouring down through the skylight walls felt cool, quiet, and peaceful, a time to reflect. And the smell of the fire in the morning, the fresh pine smell, and crackling of the snaps and pops and smoke trails was an invitation. Near down the road was Fifer Beach. I found a small rattlesnake, a baby, laying near the water's edge. I was there when a killer whale cried and bellowed in the cave where water had trapped him. Our dogs ran and flew through the air, through the ponds of seawater, changing shapes and flowing back to sea, where nakedness was natural and the white sands were warm to the touch. Sitting under an old apple tree, meditating at the old homestead, I heard a strong sniffing and rooting sound. With my eye opened, I saw a mama wild boar roughing up the ground near me. Children laughed and strayed, but not too far. Treats and mothers' snacks nearby. Teresa once walked in front of the crashing waves, with a gigantic boa constrictor wrapped around her naked body, dogs running in every direction. Paradise lasted until one day when tired took over, of driving and chasing and needing and worrying and fires and floods, a calling inside that my life needed to change, that learning new tricks and exploring other possibilities urged me on. A hard choice. I took all of my children to Mexico. Time out.
You know, there's nothing I can say about that piece that hasn't been said.
It's
In
just
all of the comments going
everywhere,
on. Wow.
everything, isn't it? And it just, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
It's got everything in the kitchen sink in there, literally.
Yes, absolutely,
Hasn't it?
literally. I think
Yeah.
I'd have ran to Mexico myself.
Oh, I know.
Absolutely. Wow.
I've had a conversation with her, and I'm going to ask her to adopt me.
I was sitting there just before me. I was just going to say hi.
I want her life. I so want her life, and she sent me a couple of other bits and pieces as well. I mean, she's very willing to share and explain things, and I just think she has a lovely soul. She has a lovely aura about her.
Just like Christina's just said, a life rolled into a poem, and it is absolutely rolled into a poem.
Totally.
Brilliant.
There's just everything in there, isn't there? And
wow.
I said to her, I was there with you. And I was. I went there with her.
We've all been on a trip there now, haven't we?
Yeah.
Really and truly, because she done very well at bringing us. She just wrapped us up and off we went.
I know.
That's one hell of a camper van, girl.
Yeah, she's going to have a lot of passengers, isn't she? All aboard.
Yes.
I know. So thank you for that. That was just, blew me away. That did. It really did. I loved reading it. And again, it's one of those that I read again and again. You read
it beautifully too, because you brought us all into that one, Nina.
Oh, thank you. It was easy to read. I mean, beautiful words, beautiful imagery. And then I have one by the lovely Christina Bray. and it's called A New Year's Hope, because I thought we haven't really kind of acknowledged the new year as such in a poem.
Yeah.
So A New Year's Hope. So here it is, another new year dawned, another 12 months circled to its end. I pray that you who read this are beloved, that each of you have close a much loved friend. But if you are alone or burdened down, weighted by sorrow or by dreadful fear, I send you this wish from the depths of my heart, that this at last may be the dawning year, that brings to you happiness, hope and success, and every good thing that someone could want, and that the joy you find you share with others. May kindness be the only thing you flaunt. May you be happy, fulfilled and delighted. May time finally heal each hurt and woe, until with only joy and great excitement into time's beckoning river you go. May you be healthy, wealthy, wise and gentle. All fury and bitterness pass away, until you smile to see each new day dawning, and rush to life as a child leaps to play.
Oh, beautiful, Christina. Beautiful.
I know, isn't it gorgeous?
Oh, absolutely
Yeah.
magic. Magic. And again, that's two magical pieces in one shot. Absolutely
I
fabulous.
know. I wanted to find some light-hearted stuff this week. I like the dark. I know I'm known for liking the dark, and I have got some dark stuff in it, obviously.
Yes. Don't
But
you know it?
I just wanted to bring some light as well.
But
So
you've brought a great array of poetry again this week for everybody reading it through. But again, as we have seen over the past, if we go back over 12 weeks, and even with some of the poets we have now and what they're actually producing, what we're actually highlighting on their behalf has increased in its imagery, in its portrayal, in its structure,
absolutely.
in everything.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a joy to be out there. We get worried some days. We think there's not enough out there. Oh God, it's so meagre today. And then all of a sudden, puff of fish, out it comes. Takes up the pages. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, and it goes in fits and starts, really, doesn't it? And I appreciate. I mean, I'm the same. I write according to where I am and how I am, and you know. And I know some people can only write a certain, you know, they'll only write darker pieces. They won't write comedy particularly, or love stories, or that sort of thing. And that's fine, each to their own. But we do try and bring a mixture of everything to the show, and sometimes it's hard to find some of the lighter pieces, so I jumped on these ones this week. I didn't want to let them go. Do you want to do another one?
I'll do a Bobby Cook. Yeah. Is Bobby a new one for us?
I think Bobby's been read once before, maybe twice.
So I'm just terrible at keeping up with the names. I'm absolutely horrendous. So this one is called Useless Chase by Bobby Cook.
Yeah.
And I hope this time we can get a bit of sound in it. I'm afraid once you go quiet, the sound seems to rise, yeah? See, it's rising already. If you speak now, that goes down.
I think it's it's the microphone on your phone. We need to get that sorted.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
I have been to the top of the mountain, scraped my hands in the bottom of the sea. It could all turn out to be an illusion, but I've spent my life looking for me. It seems I've always been a step behind. At times I feel a half step ahead. I'm never quite able to catch myself. There's no evidence I'm not dead. Still I keep looking, chasing each day, haunting my old hiding places. I wonder what I'll do if I find myself. Will I have a choice? I just can't say. Nothing I can do, nothing I do can change me. Not who I am or where I have been. You see, my past is cast in cement, and my future, well, it's just a whim. My soul can't change for better or worse. Only karma can affect lasting change. So finding myself is not essential. It's my soul karma will rearrange. So do I really think I can find myself? If I do, will it only cause confusion? Karma is going to do what it will. I have no say at all in that mission. So I'll keep moving along. Let my spirit do as it will. Only my heart knows what it wants, but my fate will unfold at its will.
I liked that piece.
I've got to pull out for 1 second in and re-plug in, yeah?
You're a noisy WhatsApp. I've lost you now. I can't hear you at all.
Here we go again. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, got you now.
Okay, that might be a little bit better. I don't know
Yeah.
how much, but yeah.
Are the people having problem hearing you then?
Yeah, people are having a problem because it goes into this noisy thing, this whole
Yeah. Okay.
on my end. Yeah, just on my end. What I might need to ask you to do, if you've still got it, is the next poem that I have is quite a long piece, and it's entitled by Mark Sumner. Yeah. I might have to ask you to take the last 2 poems. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No problem.
And the bipolar, most likely. Yeah.
Because you like the bipolar bear.
I do, but it will be destroyed, I think, if I try to go through this. John, some strange background noise, like rushing water. Exactly, that's what's happening to me, Christine. That's what I'm picking up my phones. I don't get it now while you're talking.
I can't hear it.
No, but I do. That's the problem.
Is it happening all the time?
Yeah, every time I go to read, yeah? Let me just... Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. I've turned down the sound. I'll see what happens on the next one, Nina, yeah?
I think it's the microphone on your phone.
I think I've turned down my sound now. I don't get that rushing noise. Maybe the sound is up too high between the earphones and the microphone itself. Yes, I've turned down the sound. So
Okay.
Can you hear me clearly now?
Yeah, perfectly fine. Yeah.
Excellent. Because that rushing noise is gone.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Maybe your volume was too loud then.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I have a very short and sweet piece called, well, it's untitled actually. It's by Tissy Taylor. I will write my story, tell you in my own words, who will love a sinner until my voice is heard. In time, my pain lessens, redemption from my grief. Never will I forget the life that I once lived. Regrets, I know plenty, a past of my untruths. Release me from my pain, the pain of losing you. I wish I could tell you the words you need to hear. Somehow show you, darling, erase all of your fears. Time steals our innocence. We must never look back. Still my feet are leaden. My world, it fades to black.
I feel a stabbing from that one, I do.
Oh no. It's quite haunting, isn't it?
It is, very, very much so. Very much so.
Yeah.
Do you know what? This sounds a hell of a lot better than my hand sounded. I think my sound was way too high. I think I was out blasting there. I didn't realise. It's just I went onto the sound thing, yeah?
Okay.
So I brought it down a bit.
We only know if people tell us, so we will try our very best to eradicate all sound problems. But yeah, it's a bit of a needle in a haystack trying to work out exactly what's what, isn't it?
It is, but we're getting there, aren't we? We're getting there.
Yeah, like London Transport.
Yeah, a little bit like London Transport, yeah. They're going to have to come through the Pennines, you know. Definitely. Mark II.
And then I've got a very interesting piece by Shelley Gambino, and it's called Twinnings. It's very clever.
And Shelley's here with us.
Yeah. Refracted image appears my shadow, mystic twin confronting me. Imaginings of my inner psyche. Is she for real who stands before me? Faded imagery, so real, yet so imaginary. I see you, I feel your presence. You are my conscience of free guilt and my devil's advocate. We are as opposite as the moon and the sun, yet we both exist, as sure as the stars above. Just the thought of you turns my heart, of competing and vying for your love. We are two entities living in separate worlds, yet we come from the same seed. Light is dark, dark is light. As day turns into night, we live opposite lives, yet we continue to breathe.
That's all about knowing yourself inside out, isn't it?
Oh, I know, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Getting to know me from me. Yeah, wow. Love it. Absolutely
Very
love
clever
it.
piece.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Thank you, Shelley. Oh,
yep,
yes.
yeah.
Definitely.
Jumped on that one as soon as I
Definitely.
saw it. I know, I know. You never know what's coming from Shelley, do you? Which I love. I love that about writers.
Yeah.
The ones that I can't second guess, they hold my attention. And
Mine.
speaking of which, I
Which?
have a piece by Catherine Pagano. You never know what's coming from Catherine, and this one is
Oh.
so out of her normal field. It's unbelievable. And it's called The Golden Mask. And it's a story. It's very clever. He wears a golden mask and speaks with a serpent's tongue, dazzling them all with brilliance. He claims to be the chosen one. He'll rid the world of all its ills, claiming mankind will finally unite. But make no mistake about it, for survival, humankind must fight. He brings a deadly enemy, like a death squad that rules the night. No people, no country, no ethnic race are safe from the killing blight. This snake man claimed he had oil to hold the blight at bay, but every human must take the dosage, one capsule, every day. At first, the hordes were sceptical, not believing of this impending doom, until the blight visibly settled in and blooms from room to room. It is a pathogenic organism, rapid in its environmental spread, feeding on the living tissue of man until the host is dead. No one knew for sure where this blight originated from. They would have to search for ground zero before the damage could be undone. The rapid spread of death came fast. Societies quickly dissolved. Snake oil pills were quickly dispersed. For the moment, the crisis was resolved. Then the snake man made a speech. To him, all humans must abide. Only he can control the deadly blight. From this, no human can hide. And so the New Age Earth began, with the snake man in control. He would dictate the humans' every move. The price was a heavy toll. And still there was resistance, pockets of groups here and there, working to overthrow this pestilence, insurgents embedded everywhere. First they had to obtain the formula the snake oil capsule did hold, then cultivate the pathogen and give it the proverbial cold. Several generations of life did pass with the pathogen and humans side by side. The snake man did continue to rule. He had changed the human tide. The youngest children went to schools to be taught of the snakeman's grandeur. They also learned to turn people in should they overhear any slander. Quietly in darkened rooms, the resistance dared to gather. Soon they will attack the pathogen blooms with a synthetic microbial lather. Collected on a petri dish were parts of the deadly bloom. Adding the lather, they did bubble up. A noxious stench filled the room. But there in the dish for all to see was nothing but a pile of ash. They repeated the steps again and again, rejoicing in their life-changing cash. Secretly they spread the word, using an ancient binary code. Counterparts replicated the same. The snake man's rule was about to implode. Slowly and gradually at first, the blooms began to die. Half the humans rejoiced at this, while the other half wondered why. Faster and faster the resistance spread, catching the elites unaware, wiping out the blooms far and wide with a stench that permeated the air. Finally, the lather reached the hands of a secret fighter among the elite, spreading havoc in the royal court, seeking justice and a final defeat. The snake man had become complacent, so sure was he of his rule. He never saw the lather coming at his face. Such arrogance made him a fool. This was the beginning of the end, a tsunami of destruction on the way. History will tell of the tides of change. They will call it the reckoning day. Now stories are told to children about a serpent with a golden mask. Wash your hands with lather, they are told, to counter his killing task. Every year on reckoning day, people celebrate and cheer, dumping lather on effigies to rejoice in another healthy year. Currently, the lather comes in soaps and tins, with rhinestones and bows and glitz. A commercial renaissance masking the history of the original Blitz. Such is the way of humans.
Such skill in writing, wow.
What a story! Amazing, wasn't it?
You call me a conspiracy theorist, oh my god. Yes, but as I was saying.
That's on a par with David, isn't it? David Lewis Paget.
Absolutely, totally.
Yeah.
Yes. Stunning piece. Candace just said it.
Storytelling at its best. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like Catherine's work anyway, but that one was just top notch for me anyway. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
You picked them again, like I said, you picked up some absolutely belting poetry. And again, the poets are writing out of their skins at the moment. Absolutely out of their skins.
Yeah, totally. It's interesting to see how people, I won't say change, but I mean, I've only been on the circuit, shall we say, for a couple of years. And I can see differences in people's writing from when I first started to see some, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm sure mine's changed as well.
And it's great. I mean, Chris said it earlier on. The community has grown with such like-minded people in the community, and it is a very like-minded community. Whether you're a reader, a listener, a viewer, whatever.
Yeah.
It's very like-minded. We're all here for the one thing. We're here for a bit of cracking and a bit of poetry, and we mix and combine them both. And that's the wonderful thing. I think we grow among each other. There's no competition. Yeah. There's nobody looking for the better poem than another. But we do grow in a way in how we write our poetry because we have the options of how everybody does things. And we'd call it you'd call a dog a cur if it's not of a breed, yeah?
Yeah.
And we become that cur type. We get things from other places. We don't plagiarize or anything like that, but we do get ideas in our heads of how we actually want to do our next poem. Maybe not purposely, but while we're doing the poem, something will flash, and you'll think.
Oh yeah, we all get an idea from somewhere, whether it be watching a telly program, whether it be talking to a friend, listening to music. You know, somebody's going to inspire us in some way, and somebody will write something, and you'll think, oh, I like that idea, and then you'll run off in a different direction with it. Doesn't mean to say you've plagiarized or anything, does it? You've just been inspired.
You've been well inspired, and I think that is shown as the weeks go by. And Davis just said, I have grown. So many of us have grown. Each of us have grown in some way. I mean, go back to the very first poem you ever wrote.
Yeah.
And have a look at what you write now. There will be probably 110% no similarity.
No.
It'll be a different place, a different time, a different thought. And where you're at now and how you structure your poetry, how you present the imagery and the information will have changed. I think it happens to us all, doesn't it?
I look back at some of my stuff that I wrote only a year ago, 2 years ago, and I think, God, did I write that? I don't even remember what I've written. So,
but you can see the growth of it to where you've leapt to. Do you know what I mean? Each of us leap. We go up a level each time. That's not egotistical. That is reality.
I shall have to pull out one of my earlier pieces and see what I make of it. Probably won't see the light of day. I won't like it.
No, that doesn't mean we won't. I mean, talk about selfish. Oh my God.
called vanity, love, vanity.
That's the second time I've heard that word tonight. I swear, when this show is over, I'm going straight to dictionary. That has nothing to do with vanity. That's just proofreading.
Right, and then I have a new lady. What a fantastic name, Beulah Kay. And she has asked me to say that she, or her exact words were, I am Beulah Kleinvelt, or Beulah Kay, writing as Jambia Kay. I don't know if it's Jambia or Jambia. Jambia Kay.
Jambia. I like that. That sounds better, yeah.
Yeah. And it's a monarch's migration. And it's a beautiful, beautiful, clever piece about a butterfly. And it's so descriptive. I fell in love with it.
That's spoiled. Now you might as well not read it.
Oh, shush.
Tell us all about it.
I met a Dutch lepidopterist who introduced me to Melissa Blue, beautifully cloaked in sartorial splendour and gracefully adorned in ribbons of silver. We shared shots of milkweed and clover over titillating chuckles and chortles. I fell in love at first sight, but hers was a life short-lived, and the milkweed shots did not help much. Either, forgetting neither that glass museums are for ephemeral souls, not for militant monarchs. I smile with Melissa on my mind, albeit that my pulse now beat for the Amstel breeze. Alas, I am he who cannot be bought nor bound, for I am a black-veined brown, a wanderer for whom time means all things, and for the while I have, and in this space of life, my heart must flutter free.
Wow.
Oh no.
Wow.
My heart must flutter free. What a lovely ending. Yeah.
Some lovely imagery in there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be very long, does it? I mean, you instantly know, you can picture them. You can picture the butterflies.
That's brought me back to the 70s when we were only little nippers, like 7, 8 years old, and beside us was the local hospital. But they had these big fields. And do you remember the honeysuckle used to be in the fields? You'd have all the honeysuckle growing in the fields. And that's where we would go. We would go to the fields and we'd catch the bees in the jars at the time. We were real maniacs, we were, yeah. And we'd throw in honeysuckle so they wouldn't die. They'd be okay, they'd still feed.
Yeah.
But the butterflies, all the different colours and types, admirals, blues,
butterflies
greens,
are the most incredible
greys.
thing.
Wow.
Yeah, they are.
Absolutely through the summer, they were the best thing. You always knew summer was coming because the butterfly was there, yeah.
Yeah. Butterflies are very, very special, aren't they? Very, very precious thing.
Yeah.
And then I have, it's a beautiful piece. It's untitled, but again, it's full of reminiscing memories and quite thought-provoking. It's by John Herlihy. In the years now gone by, what is left to remember? Spring flowers in May, falling leaves of September. In the years not yet gone by, what will we hope for, but the destiny we know to be ours that we set store? People's thoughts inevitably hope for a future bright. No one seeks any sadness over the pursuit of delight. Yet our memories can often take on a melancholy air. What we miss, what we neglected, a lingering despair. So many thoughts of the past that seem strange now. Still they preserve a dreamy, inspiring quality somehow. Like many an old friendship now impossible to revive, the memory of lost loved ones may help us to survive. Evocative smells take us back on a whirlwind tour, bringing familiarity and longing to one's heart for sure. Cigar smoke resurrects me, the image of my father. Jasmine evokes the comforting presence of my mother. Baby odour summons forth the memory of mother's milk, together with the soft pudgy limbs that I feel like silk. In our memories of the distant past, nothing has changed. My mother's voice, my father's hand, nothing rearranged. Sounds as well have a way of taking us unexpectedly back, filling empty coffers of the mind with memories we lack. The sonorous melodies of Gregorian chant fill my aging soul. In my youth, I sang such sombre harmonies to make me whole. Birds chatter in the morning, in the woods, in the trees at sunset, whether whispering or howling, the winds stir memories of regret. Nothing can compare to the message in the sweet patter of rain, or the thunderous roar of winter hail knocking on my window pane. The dragonflies, how they scared me. The fireflies did thrill me. The buzz of the bees and whispers of the butterflies did chill me. The apple trees in late summer, the falling sound of ripe fruit. The silence of mountains speak of mystery, even though mute. And then there are the eyes, and what they remember as blessing. The first time I laid my eyes on her, as if the unknown addressing. I cannot forget the wistful clouds I saw atop that mountain peak, nor the bird's eye vista of the valley spread before me at my feet. All our days are measured, and so too memories drop by drop, lovingly poured from the cup of the heart until they finally stop. All things existing on earth, even our memories, have their day. They each have their moment, fill hearts, then drift quietly away. The last light of the evening, never again to be stolen by night. The last snowfall, never again to descend as a peaceful sight. The last eagle to soar through the heavens, through wind and rain. The last poppy to wave its farewell across the Andalusian plain. To brotherly love, to undying love, may they stand the test of time, and all those glorious miracles of the earth that I claim as mine. Yawning buds blooming in May, the falling leaves of September. These the memorable things I treasure, that no one will remember.
Again, the imagery is unbelievable.
Oh no! I said to him, it's beautiful, but it's sad.
The imagery is beautiful. It is sad, but even in its sadness, there's so much there. I mean, the sounds, the smells, everything that invokes a memory in your mind, that gives a recollection.
Yeah,
wow, he's
totally.
got it all in there without a shadow of doubt.
And it's a
Josie
smell.
Cook has just said, beauty in nature. There's beauty in sadness. And sometimes nature is sad. I mean, there's just beauty in everything if we just look for that beauty, yeah?
Yeah, I mean that one's a kind of bittersweet, isn't it? That's It's lovely, but it's sad as well. So yeah, very, very nice, right? Loved it.
Hello, Beth Evans, and I've got a question for Beth this week, by the way. I'm glad she's come in. Beth, any more with Ray's poems? Are we having another one from Ray? I think what you want. Have a word with her for us, will you? Please. Please. You can have one too, Pete. It's okay. There you go, my man.
I don't think Pete's going to write poetry somehow. Yeah. And then I've got a very short piece, but again, very visual. And it's called Forming by Peter Davies. The first ice crystals are outside forming, in the star-filled night, slowly transforming. My breath a spectral form that drifts away. Should I close my eyes until dawning day? Jack Frost has at last come again to me, across the white fields of this old January. Such dreams they hold me, as if lovers do, kept warm as toast until the night is through. The first snowflakes are all too soon to fall, beneath the cruel stars, far too many to call. My breath as a ghost between the frozen trees, as I close my tired eyes until the visage flees.
Do you know, it's brought
Winter
me back
is coming,
isn't it? And it's brought me back to the story I told Sandra from the time she got pregnant on Jack, the Jack Frost story, the four friends, the North Pole.
Yeah.
Just listening to you there, and my mind has been reminiscing back to when I used to talk to her tummy.
Yeah.
God almighty.
Yes, winter is coming.
It doesn't take much to get your little emotions and your little memories just stored up, does it?
No.
That's
and then I don't think this gentleman's been read before. Bob Brown. I don't remember him. No. And it's very simply called You.
Thank you.
As you practice to deceive, drawn into the web you weave, promises made then are broken, vows declared as a token. For on this night sorrow weeps, in my heart your memory seeps, bound under a moonless night, anointed with a lack of sight. Endings written in the stone, worn away and on my own. I'm the puppet, pull my strings, watch me dance, watch me sing. So still I lay, heavy-hearted, sun gives way, darkness started. Nightmares seal these visions tonight, coloured in with black and white. Will you ever set me free, alone to walk, alone to be? Is this my fate? Is this me, allowed to walk, but not to see?
It's a little bit like the shadows of Shelley Gambino, and then Shelley becomes just a twin. I mean, wow.
Shivers, shivers.
Yes, absolutely. Wow.
Yeah, loved it.
Ooh. I've got one untitled though. I'm surprised at how many untitled poems actually come through.
Yeah.
Really, truly. And sometimes you got to think to yourself, do they really need titles? I mean, you could build a title in your own mind. It could be any title you want it to be.
True. I think we just like to label everything, don't we?
We do, and that's the unfortunate thing, because we expect labels on everything, don't we?
Yeah, we like everything in nice, neat little boxes, don't we?
I'm glad, because it wouldn't be safe to send me shopping otherwise. Yeah. God knows what I'll bring back.
Poor Sandra. You wait till the next time I speak to her.
I'm titled by Mark Sumner. Sumner. The bridge is burned, the lies are told. Then they're bought from the ones who sold. It doesn't matter what they said, the damage done, and so you bled. Your heart wide open, you laid it bare, unprotected. It's quite unfair to be so easy, a target to hit, but you are the reason they always get. What they want, your pound of flesh, and this is one thing they might confess. You spoke too much on being real. You played it like you couldn't feel. You made yourself above all the others. When the ones you hung with, you called your brothers. You smiled at them and shared a joke, but their pride and board you soon did poke. By acting like you were above, and all they did, and you claimed it love. Oh, hypocrite, they all did shout, so they worked a plan to get you out. Some in pairs and some alone. You wondered why it wasn't shown. The way they felt this hidden rage. The way they felt this hidden rage. You thought I'm cool, they're on my page. But that wasn't true. There was this hate that wanted you gone, walked out the gate. Unseen, unheard behind your back. The stories told of how you lack the strength to carry out your job. Your integrity they sought to rob. They painted you an untrusted liar and tossed you in the concocted fire. And you burned down quick, surprised at all the ones who watched you as you did fall. It's not their fault, the threat was you, and all your words and what you do. But don't take this hard, it's a lesson learned. Don't sit at the table as it's torn. Beware of the words you say. They stretch for miles, and they don't play. When you put them down, the ones called friend, you must expect a means to an end. You get what's coming, and it's well deserved. Now you're ignored, and you're being served. Please stay humble, and do what's right. Watch your words, don't start a fight. If you are going to preach about all talk, you must always speak, just as you walk.
Yes, there's a lot going on in that one again, isn't there?
There
Brilliant.
is, and that washing noise came back because you were quiet on the other end again.
I can't speak while you're speaking.
No, I know that. I'm just saying this is when it happens. I mean, it goes from one problem to another to another to another.
I know. Oh, Lordy Lord. Oh, well, if there's anything lost in translation, then we'll reread it next week if it's that bad. So.
Go on,
And
well,
then
this time there's been no. Yeah, there it is. Whenever John reads, it starts. That's
Is it for everybody? Is every single person hearing it? I don't know.
I don't
Is it
know.
just...
I mean, it'd be very hard to get feedback off every one of them.
I snaffled this one at the last minute. It's by the lovely Anne Thrope, and it's called Detached. All my bones ache with the relentlessness of time. My head always seems attached to my core, yet threads keep me together are so often askew. I describe it as my head not being screwed on right, and truth be told, it happens more often than I like. We have both known such tragedy, brutality of pain, a fortress of togetherness. You'd think we'd prevail. I suppose we are, our connection measured in years. Unassuming smiles make a mockery of our distance. Many millions condensed to a wafer-thin wisp of air. But when the threads are not aligned in my brain, all of my vulnerabilities surface, insecurity reigns. Accepting me as I am, you await the realignment. Sometimes quietly from afar, or on other occasions, with a gentle nudge or the turn of a sharp phrase. However strong the desire for change, containment, a lifetime's habitual behaviour is not so easily erased. Think there's a message in there, don't you?
I think so, yes.
Yes.
Between the lines, as they say, yes.
Oh, yes. Definitely.
Wonderful piece.
Yeah, it caught my eye. It was just the first couple of lines, and it was like, that's it. I want to know what's going on now. So, yeah, that's one of those you have to read to the end, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
And then I've got the lovely, she goes as author Lynn. I read her once before, beautiful piece. And it's called Take Hold of Me. You are my shield of dominance that covers my beauty and brilliance, protecting the shallows of my soul. You tell me to be unafraid of needing you, allowing my body to let go. You harbour the sweetness of my sweet-tasting nectar, mollifying my ease. I take comfort in you, submit to reasons. Our need is thirsty, penetrating our palates with the aroma of curiosity. Subdue my longing, for I relish in relentless desires. Submerging your phantom, descending upon my haunting affairs. Drunk, confused, and mystified, I collapse into a fury. Madness enveloped me. All I saw was you with envy. As you held on to my heated submission, you released my relentless mercy, making you my masterful extension.
Yes, masterful indeed.
I know.
Yes.
I know. That's that one had got, it was getting a little bit smoky, that one, wasn't it?
Wasn't it just? Yes. Wasn't it just? Whoa. How about an ode to a forgotten drunk? Or to the forgotten drunk? This one.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, Dale, see you next week. He needs a cold shower.
Oh, off you go then, Dale.
Gonna miss you. An Ode to the Forgotten Drunk by Alex B. Diamond. You sit upon your bar stool in a haze of shattered dreams, with the crust of nightmares old and new, and caked upon your jeans, with one hand on your whiskey glass, and one on your cigar. You vaguely muse on where you've been, and also where you are. The jukebox plays a happy song, picked out by someone else, a fool to you perhaps, but cool to himself. So who's the winner in this tale of battles to the death? A drunk with whiskey on his mind. of whiskey on his breath. I like that. I really
Yeah.
like that one. Yes.
Yes, the battles of the demon drink, definitely. Fortunately, I've never had that battle, but I do know some that have, and it's not a pretty sight, that's for sure. So, this one I found today, and I had to include it because it's like nothing I've ever read before. It absolutely fascinates me. And it's by Lee Todd Lacks, and it's called Ode to Noble Gases. It's very clever. Are you the light yellow helium, like the cool drinks they mix at this dubious lounge, a medicated fit of spontaneity, confessing the sins you have yet to commit? Or are you xenon, aquamarine beam, bright eyes of the police shaming dissolute streets? Are you krypton, ghostly green in the jeweller's window, like the aged merchant dealing jade and courtship? Or radon, lurking in 1,000 dark basements for those wretched souls who knew you first, who saw your awful glow, could not have heeded your deep red warning, could not have broken your deadly tryst? Are you argon, pale lavender blue, the only diner open this late, rainy night, softly mystifying thrift store hue, suppressing all thought with hips and scent? Then you must be neon, reddish orange kiss, groping in the doorway of some seamy hotel. Wet locks give way to fingers and keys, and hours of singular bliss. So clever. I love it. I love it.
Oh.
It just captured my imagination, that one. I hadn't thought, who thinks of the different gases, you know?
I'll have no problem anymore putting 50p in the meter after that. I've got great respect for gas now. Definitely.
I won't ask which one you are.
No, please don't.
No, I don't think methane's on the list.
Don't want to shock the audience.
No, I think they'll be shocked.
Go on.
Then I've read this gentleman once before, and he's lovely. Richard M. Nittle Jr. And he did say he was going to try and join us, but I haven't seen his name go up yet. But hopefully he's there somewhere. And it's called Imagine, and again, it's another lighter piece. Imagine a world, one with no hate, that has no prejudice, that decides your fate, where white is winter and falling as snow, and black is the night against the stars in the sky and a full moon's glow. Imagine that the only colours that are taught are those of rainbows and crayons in their box. Imagine a world that has only one race, where everyone is equal and not case by case, where we all live in peace and war has now ceased. No boundaries or lines, just wide open space. Imagine a world where everyone eats. There is no hunger or poverty and everyone speaks, where we all care for each other in our hearts, minds and souls, where love is shown wherever you go. Imagine a world where we all can live, to choose our religion and faith, no crime, to fight and know we are still safe. Imagine it all started with the dream of one man, a poet, a father, a stranger, a friend, who imagined a world full of peace and all hate was to end. Imagine, imagine, and then imagine again.
It's like John Lennon said, isn't it? Imagine.
It just got such a lovely feel to it, and positive
it has,
message.
And it's so uplifting, and the positivity of it is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I know.
If only we could leave each other to be what we feel we are. I mean,
if only one line of that would come true.
Yeah. Just one would be a big difference to this world. Well done, Richard. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely
I had to jump on that one. I just thought it was stunning. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to bring everybody on a trip now.
Are you?
I am. Because it's the bipolar bear, of course, isn't it? And this bipolar bear does bring you on a trip, let me tell you. I just love going on these trips.
Good
God, the
old Ralph.
70s must have been absolutely brilliant. And Ralph, yeah.
I wouldn't know.
And this one takes place at Morville Ridge. And our American viewers and listeners will know exactly where we're going with this one. Yeah, Morville Ridge. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Morville Ridge and the Bipolar Bear by Hank Buchler. This New Yorker again, yeah. So Ralph, the Hudson River Bipolar Bear, and I went on our way up to the Morville Ridge in a yellow Volkswagen Bug to score some pot. I'm not exactly sure, 24 years later, where Morville Ridge was, but I know it was somewhere in the mountains in Northern California. For the first time in my 19 years, there was a woman who wanted me more than I wanted her. And how did the ever-maturing young Reverend take advantage of this? Well, I stole a yellow Volkswagen Bug. Well, borrowed it, because she got it back, but she didn't know, and she bought the stolen. And after Morville Ridge, Ralph and I got a little lost and ended up in Santa Cruz, when they caught us, pulled over, staring out at the dark Pacific. You know and I know that this is long before I met the Rev, but that's never stopped him before, has it? From interjecting me into one of his true life stories about his wretched past. On Morville Ridge lived Morville John, and he grew some wonderful plants, but it was a hell of a bother to get to. First, just leaving San Francisco seemed like almost a sin, and then there was the logging trail that was uphill, snowy, and one lane. Well, I don't think that those downhill loggers really cared too much for their fellow man or bear when they ran us into the ditch yelling and laughing. But it sure was lucky that I had Ralph with me to get us out of the ditch, or I would still be there now, and probably a whole lot happier, not much higher. Okay, let's dance away, short and sweet, since this is my space, and most of you have already left. John had some pot. He headed south, missed the city, and got arrested for stealing our friend's car. When Mickey told the officers that, oh my, I am so sorry that I forgot that book was taken for the day. I only paid her generously for running off to New York with our best friend. Okay, so it's a short story. And there's no plot and no moral. But remember this, campers. If you're ever going to steal a car, go look at the Pacific Ocean with a stoned polar bear. At least steal it from a woman who wants you more than you want her. Rev, you don't come off looking too good in this little tale, you know that. It is what it is, Buddha Bear. Just is.
I like Ralph. I want to go on a road trip.
So I want to go on a roadie as well. It just gives me that feeling. God, a roadie.
Yeah, good old Ralph. Bless his heart.
Oh, God almighty.
And then I have it's a little bit late, but didn't have time to do it before New Year, so I've got a New Year's Eve poem to read, and I'm going to put my unicorn back on. There we go.
You're going to get a peace pipe while you do.
Okay, there we go. Right, so it's the unicorn reading now, all right? And it's called New Year's Eve. Smartly dressed in all our finery on the last night of the year, we have every best intention that come midnight we will cheer, as the bells toll out the old one and a new one lies ahead. There are those who'll not remember what they did or what they said. Making merry with the bubbly is my gran of 83. She's already toppled sideways, taking out the Christmas tree. As she cans with the barman, poor young man has no escape. In his eyes a look of panic, watching grandma cut her shapes. There is always that one person thinks he's found the perfect joke, hangs the mistletoe from his waistband in the hope you'll kiss below. I've made sure there is none lurking, thrown the lot upon the fire, but it seems he keeps his own stash always ready, it transpires. There's a buffet out for nibbles, every person's brought a plate. We're already 1 stone plumper, but it shall not go to waste. Time to make our resolutions, we'll be sylph-like by the spring. We've already hired a PT, so we might as well tuck in. I think half of this food's recycled from the houses of my kin, for I know I've seen that gatto and this salmon mousse tureen. It's the quiche that lets the side down, as an egg can't hide its age. No good grating extra cheese on, it will still look pallid grey. I saw Grandpa taste a brownie, take a nibble off the edge. Then he hid it under the curtains on the corner of the ledge. But it clearly had been chewy, must have gummed up his false teeth, because he dipped them in the punch bowl, then he dried them on his knees. As the evening trundles closer to that midnight strike of 12, Uncle Arthur does the time warp, Macarena moves as well. But the hokey-cokey's tricky, he can't tell his left from right. So he's off to goose Aunt Rosemary, it's his only chance tonight. Now the countdown starts in earnest. We link arms and stagger round. Old Lang Syne gets shouted loudly. We all merge as one big crowd. Party poppers spray their streamers. Someone else can clear those up. I must have a leaking vessel, for I've got an empty cup. Happy New Year's, everybody. Live it wisely, live it well. Make the most of every moment. Those you love, make haste and tell. Leave regrets behind at midnight. Start again, wipe clean your slate. Spend your time with those who matter. As for no one, time will wait.
That is so true. And you know what? That unicorn has a perfect Essex accent. Wow.
Does it?
It does, honestly.
But you don't get better than Essex, I'm telling you.
Wow, that is unreal. Do you know? Wow.
I'm not sure.
Look,
I'm not sure.
I'm not going to say a word. I was just going to say something. It's a good job I did not open my mouth, wasn't it?
I know, I must admit, I had to stop myself.
Whoa.
I think it's a male unicorn.
I was just going to say, it's a load of balls, isn't it? Really. I'm sorry. God, what he says.
Don't sully my unicorn.
It's a lovely unicorn. Hello, Jessie Batista. It's lovely to see you in, Jess. And I think you know this unicorn quite clearly. Look. Nene, you got something on you.
Got something on me what? Head?
I don't know what it is.
What?
Unicorn? Possibly? Nah, couldn't be.
No.
No.
Nothing to see here. Move along.
Bit of John Pop.
And do you know what?
Hallucinating now.
Do you know what I said to Jessie? The reason why I love it more than anything is because it's not pig in pink. It's purple. I don't do pink. I do purple.
You dyed it?
No, it came purple, you Egypt.
Oh. Should have sat pink, Jess. Should have sat pink.
No, he's not missing an ear. It's there. Look. There we go. Anyway, my work here is done.
He looks like one hung blow.
I'm not going there. I'm not biting. I'm not biting.
No.
Right.
But we did find these beautiful little beauties.
He's not missing. Who keeps saying he's missing an ear? He's got, how many ears have you got? He's got 2 ears. Unless you've got 3 ears, people, he is not missing an ear.
Unicorns should have 3 ears. Doesn't matter. It's not important.
2 ears. 1, 2.
God.
Sheesh.
Okay. And we came across these funny airline announcements, didn't we? And these have been, hello Sus Hamburg, and welcome in Sus. And I love these because we had a great bit of crack reading these to each other, did we not?
We did. Yes, we did. Indeed.
I'm
Yes.
not having to keep my tongue in cheek here rapidly. I'm gonna watch the computer. Here we go. Funny airline announcements. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached cruising altitude and will be turning down the cabin lights. This is for your comfort and to enhance the appearance of your flight attendants. And sometimes that is a necessity. And I've only been on a plane
definitely.
once, and it was a big necessity. Whew. Good God.
Yeah.
No wonder I never wanted to fly again.
You're such a pansy when it comes to travelling. You really are.
I am. I know it.
You really are. Such a pansy.
I like this. I really like this. I do.
I could use it as a crash helmet.
You could, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my balls won't stay in place.
Well, you just better hope it doesn't get gelded.
Oh.
Andy. During the final approach, the captain was really having to fight it. After an extremely hard landing, the flight attendant said, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Amarillo. What a place to land, Amarillo. Is this the way to Amarillo? Please remain in your seats with your seatbelts fastened while the captain taxis what's left of our airplane to the gate."
I so desperately want to be on one of these flights where they give
So
out funny
do I.
announcements. I really
So
do.
I.
Yeah.
Oh. Another flight attendant's comment on a less than perfect landing. "We ask you to please remain seated as Captain Kangaroo bounces us to the terminal." Skippy girl, I hope you got that one.
Ah, I've just sussed it. Look,
What?
there's a slit there. So I put. Hang on. Ugh, hang on. I've got to squeeze my ball through the hole. Look, it does actually do up. Look. Look. It does up. Oh, my life is complete.
So is mine, thank God. Is the strangling fast enough?
No, it's not. It's very loose, but it stays secure. Look, I didn't realise there was a slit there, and my ball goes through the slit. And yeah, okay.
I'm in agony here. An airline pilot wrote that on this particular flight, he had hammered his ship into the runway really hard. The airline had a policy which required the first officer to stand at the door when the passengers exited, smile and give them a thanks for flying our airline. He said that in light of his bad landing, he had a hard time looking the passengers in the eye, thinking that someone would have a smart comment. Finally, everyone had gotten off except for a little old lady walking with a cane. She said, "Sir, do you mind if I ask a question?" "Why, no, ma'am," said the pilot. "What is it?" The little old lady said. "Did we land or were we shot down?" And only a little old lady could ask such a question, couldn't she?
Yes, Chris, I did just say that.
Now, Phoenix. That's a very hard place to land your plane. Arizona. Desert land.
A lot of desert.
You know? Yeah.
Mm.
After the real crushing of landing in Phoenix, the attendant came out with, "Ladies and gentlemen, please remain in your seats until the captain crashed and the crew have brought the aircraft to a screeching halt against the gate. And once the tire smoke has cleared and the warning bells are silenced, we'll open the door and you can pick your way through the wreckage to the terminal." I've got to say, these American airline people have a way with words. They really do.
Marley's getting ever closer.
Is he?
Yeah. He's literally right there and he's looking at it. He wants it off my head.
Oh dear, oh dear.
He's just licked me. He's so desperate to get this
He's
unicorn
getting a
off my head.
taste, isn't he?
I won't tell you what he licked. It wasn't my chin.
No, I don't think so.
No.
We can't say it's a family-friendly show.
Yeah.
I know.
Mm.
Might have been the tassels, though. So, a plane was taking off from New York LaGuardia Airport. After it reached a comfortable cruising altitude, the captain made an announcement over the intercom. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Welcome to flight number 293, non-stop from New York to Los Angeles. The weather ahead is good, and therefore we should have a smooth and uneventful flight. Now sit back and relax. Oh my God! Silence followed, and after a few minutes the captain came back on the intercom and said, Ladies and gentlemen, I am so sorry if I scared you earlier. While I was talking to you, the flight attendant accidentally spilled a cup of hot coffee in my lap. You should see the front of my pants. A passenger in a coach yelled, That's nothing. You should see the back of mine.
You would, wouldn't you? You would. Yeah.
Just. We found loads of these. We can put a few of these in each week because I'm glad I don't go on flights now. I really and truly, I wouldn't be able for all that stuff. I really, could be dangerous. But what a night! That was a great selection of poetry, great selection of poets, and some lovely little stories there. And Ralph, well, I'm glad he got stoned. I'm glad he got pot-bellied or whatever it was.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, I taste of Skittles and rainbows, sus. It's just a gift that keeps on giving.
Yes, it is really. It is.
Yep. I fart bubbles as well.
So do I in the bath. I'm great at doing it in the bath, yeah. Jacuzzi, John's jacuzzi.
Jacuzzi John.
Jacuzzi John.
Anyway, say good night, John.
Anyway, good night, John. What a wonderful night. That was brilliant. Brilliant day putting it all together there. Put the final touches to, and it worked out absolutely fabulous. And to the audience, thanks a million for being there. And to the poems that are being read, it's always our pleasure to read your poems. Once we come to you with the pleasure of wanting to read your poems. Nina, thanks a million for tonight. You are brilliant. And I don't know what the unicorn is called. The unicorn read beautifully too.
No,
Absolutely.
I'm not naming it. I don't.
Essex accent.
I don't need to give it a name. I might not take it off. I might go to bed in it, actually.
Good luck with that one. But
Andy will wake up and think he's been attacked by the mafia. They've left a horse's head.
They've left a horse's head in the bed. Oh God.
Yeah.
Have a brilliant week ahead. Well, you will, because I'll be on the phone with you loads, won't I? So it's going to be brilliant. Diane
that always highlights my day.
God bless. And it has been wonderful poetry. It really and truly has. Yes. And everybody have a wonderful week ahead. And just delighted to get the new year off to a great start. And the numbers have been brilliant that have been with us tonight, as they are every night.
I did say thank you at the beginning. If Jesse and Sus look at the beginning of the show, but seriously, you guys, thank you with all my heart. I can't thank you enough for my unicorn. Thank you.
Thank you, Can. Yeah. Nina, have a great time. And thanks for all the poetry. We'll do it all again during the week. We'll fly
You're very welcome.
Wrap it up, get millions of it in, yeah?
Absolutely.
And keep this going.
Indeed.
I'll talk to you later or tomorrow. I think I'll be going straight to bed when I get in tonight. I'm absolutely shattered now. If I take these glasses off, my eyes are just going to collapse. I know they are.
Have you seen what Jesse's just put? No, there's no apology necessary. If anything, I should apologise to him for marrying me.
Oh.
Andy's worn it anyway, Jesse. I won't worry about that.
Oh.
Andy, would you like to try my unicorn hat on? No. He's not having any of it. Oh dear.
Oh, come on, Andy.
Right, see you all next week, Looney Tunes.
Have a great week, Nina. And we'll have great fun putting these poems together, yeah? Good night, God bless
I'm sure
you and
we
Andy.
will.
And to the dog, Marley. Good night, Marley.
He's wagging his tail. He's wagging his tail.
Guys, see you
Bye,
all next week.
everybody.
Good night, God bless, Nina. Catch you tomorrow. Take it easy,
Bye.
all. Bye.
Bye.
Everybody, Nina Tila, what can I say? The readings tonight, Nina and Christine, have been absolutely wonderful. To everybody out there, good night and God bless you all. Safe week ahead for everybody. I think it's got something to do with the balls, Dale. Something definitely to do with the balls. Everybody, I'll see you all next Sunday with another batch of brilliant poetry. So who knows who's going to be in the bag for next week. So let's see what you guys are putting out there. And to the audience, thank you for being a wonderful audience and being with us here tonight and every night. See you all next Sunday, the 13th. Isn't it? Yeah, it's the 13th next Sunday. God, the year is nearly over already. Here's the first month gone. Oh, Nina, she's right. Nobody could ever wear it like you. I wouldn't even try. Guys, have an absolutely wonderful week. And I'll see you all here next Sunday. All the best. Bye-bye. Good night, Can.